it's just so
I
random.
like him well enough.
Treat Williams.
I gotta say, I like him well enough. He maybe has a couple too many quips now and then. He's a little too got the right thing to say at the right moment at every possible eventuality. In the midst of being attacked by a giant tentacle monster, he still has quips to hand.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's a standard action movie thing, so I can't get too annoyed with it. I just got a little bit... He's in a different film to everybody else, it seems. But he's very entertaining. So I'd say he'll be close to a list of problems, but he's not on that list. If I had to pick something, I would maybe question that. But I don't. I can like his performance, I can like the whole film, and I do. I'm very positive about this film. I loved it, and I'm annoyed it's taken me so long to watch Deep Rising, and now there's been so many other films that have been recommended over the course of our podcast that I've never seen. I'm going to make it a mission to try and watch as many as I can, just because people recommend them. It must be for a reason. I should go and watch these freaking films.
This not Shark in Venice.
I want to watch Shark in Venice. I really want to watch it.
Okay,
but just need it to be like streaming somewhere. I'm not
I
paying
think you
for
know
it.
your expectations, right? Your expectations are super low.
They are. I know what kinds of films you recommend, and I know what list to put Shark in Venice in.
Okay, good.
It's in a different list from The Shallows, and a different list
I
from
love
The
that
Descent.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, exactly. But you love all of these movies.
Treat Williams, he kind of feels like a... who's the guy who played Robin Hood? Oh man, the real...
Cary Elwes? Or
no, back in the day.
Ah.
Why is this name not coming to me?
I don't.
He
He
feels
played
just...
Superman's dad in a way.
Robin... What? This is really bad. I
This
can't
is
think
terrible.
of his
We
name.
both can't remember Kevin Costner.
No, like the early 1940s.
Oh, that one.
Just he reminds me of Errol Flynn.
I
running
think I was thinking
around.
like Douglas Fairbanks, but that's not Douglas Fairbanks.
Oh yeah, Douglas. Oh yeah, I guess Douglas Fairbanks, but we didn't really hear him. That was. But yeah, I mean, he reminds me of a Errol Flynn 1950s B movie romp injected into a modern day film, and I think that's what Sommers really wanted. Sommers said that he wanted this movie to be a B film, like an old B Hollywood 1950s movie. So I think he took that to heart. But then a lot of people didn't. So then you have this Errol Flynn-esque, like, haha! Like, you know, like, remember when Trillian said, hey, if you let me get on your boat, he's like, you have to do anything I want. She's like, sure.
Can you give
He's
me
like,
a cold beer?
Yeah. Now that played well, but he's definitely Jeeves Louisian, and his just language in this is just such a pulpy B-movie 1950s Errol Flynn type guy. I guess he does stick out a little bit in that regard.
There's others that fit into that too, like the very British captain. He says to Trillian, "What a cheeky little trollop you are."
Yeah.
That's very much old-timey language.
I gotta tell you though, she is a cheeky little trollop because in the beginning, she steals his card, then she breaks into a vault, and she gets a necklace. Then they put her in the brig, and she just prepares a wonderful food tray for herself.
I mean, they put her in the room with all the food and the champagne.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous thing to do.
I loved her setup too.
Right,
She just she's super chill in every situation. And then I love how she escapes. She just sort of wedges her necklace into something random, and it works.
As somebody who works with electronics, I was not on board with that. She just kind of leaning back away from it whilst clearly holding the metal part of what she's using. It's not going to work. She's not going to survive that. But fine.
And I just love, like, she hits people with shoes,
Yep.
and then she gets changes. She gets changed, and then she's punching people. She grabs the gun. She shoots herself backwards. When they're all arguing in the kitchen, she has a gigantic loaf of bread, and she's just eating bread in the background while all the guys are arguing. And they tell the story about the octopus and the fish, which the monster's basically doing.
Yeah.
But I just love that the whole movie, she's just super chill. She's basically the chef of this film, I think. And I know that sounds really random.
Yeah, I think that works, yeah.
I think she's hilarious. I don't know. I think her character... I know electronics don't work like that, but I love... like they just work for her.
It's movie electronics, it's fine.
Yeah. But I just think she's funny. And apparently when she was on set for her first day, they put her in that dress, and she kind of freaked out and went to her trailer, and I guess she was real bummed out. She's like, why do I always have to play the person who wears tight red dresses? And Stephen Sommers like, well, you're the lead in this massive thing. Like, you're the romantic lead. You have to. And she's like, ugh. So she wasn't too happy about her dress. But I think she was I think when she got, in another tank top, that this movie could have been a lot more gratuitous, don't you think, for an R-rated movie?
It could have been, yeah. I mean, at one point she gets out of the dress. We don't watch her get changed.
Yeah.
Which has happened in other films that we've covered. Yeah, she gets changed into far less constrictive clothing. She's wearing, like, trousers and a tank top, but with a shirt over it. And it's a white tank top that never goes, like, see-through at any point, which I was grateful for, because I'm glad it didn't fall into that trap. So.
And Megan called that out too, and it was refreshing. Like, even though she was completely soaked, they just never went with that because you don't have to. Like, you don't have to go there. They did go there a little bit with Lila for about 3 seconds, but other than that, they did. Yeah, but I mean,
Famke Janssen is forever cemented as in my mind. She's gorgeous. You can't take it away from her. I've been a fan of hers since GoldenEye, and she's just kind of cemented in my head as yes, that is Famke Janssen. I will watch her in anything, but I'm kind
of on the top.
Yeah, hell yeah, Xena on top, but also like the X-Men films and the Faculty. She's she's had this kind of run in the 90s, early 2000s where it's like, yeah, I'm a fan. But I'm just glad to add another string to her bow of films that I can appreciate her in. Not just because she's gorgeous, but also she's just a great actress in this, great character in this. She was great
cheeky, right?
Yeah.
She was cheeky. And I bet you she loved being cheeky, because she's probably never was given the opportunity, because Jean Grey was very... Remember in X-Men Last Stand, where all she had to do was just stand behind Magneto the entire time? But
yeah, that's. I mean, I like The Last Stand for the Vinnie Jones of it all, but it is a film that could be vastly improved by letting her have more of a personality instead of just to stand there silently and be the threat at the end without really saying or doing much.
Because X2, remember that ending when she was holding the water away from everybody? I had a tear dropping down my eye. I was like, oh my gosh! And then so I was real excited for Last Stand, and she just stood around.
Yeah.
I like the cheekiness in this. It's just, I don't know. Stephen Sommers, I know a lot of people, I know he kind of lost his clout after G.I. Joe and Van Helsing. But after spending a lot of time with Van Helsing, I kind of love it. It's just big and bonkers, and it's a romp. I enjoy it. I know why people don't like it, but it's so odd that it just works for me. But when he's clicking between like this and The Mummy, even the early Jungle Book movie, I remember liking that. But this and Mummy, when he's clicking all cylinders, it's just fun to watch him. Like just the tone and the characters and the zaniness and then the horror blending with comedy. Like the guy, yeah, no, I liked his style, and I wish this movie was as popular as The Mummy is now.
Yeah, I like Odd Thomas is fun as well.
Yeah,
that's a lesser seen one of his from the late 80s. And Anton Yelchin, R.I.P. Yeah, Odd Thomas is a curio. That I
love
enjoyed.
that one. I love it. Like it's fun because he recaptured somewhat of his former tone. I think maybe the budgets got to him because this one was only 45. Mummy didn't have the biggest budget. I remember not liking the second Mummy because it kind of felt like a retread of the first Mummy.
I like The Mummy Returns, but it is definitely not the first one. And they add in a very annoying child. A very annoying child.
Yeah, that first Mummy, though, is just magic.
Oh, it's an all-timer. It's a classic. Yeah.
There was a bumper sticker out. Like, I wish I was rather watching the 1999 Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz movie, The Mummy.
Yeah. I mean, that's often the situation I'm in. I would rather be watching The Mummy than doing most other things.
That's one of the most popular movies, films, and flicks episodes. People just keep listening to it. I mean, people just love... And there's 3 commentaries on that DVD. Or Blu-ray. 3 commentaries, and it's beautiful. And also on this one, I bought the Kino Lorber Deep Rising, I think 20th anniversary Blu-ray of this. And there's a brand new commentary with Bob Duxey, the editor, who's doing huge like Star Wars movies now, and Stephen Sommers. And then there's interviews with Wes Studi, and then there's interviews with Anthony Held. He had a staph infection during this on his foot, so he couldn't hang out with most of the crew. They had William Atherton, the AD, and William Atherton, I guess, when they were first talking about making this movie, they're like, yeah, we'll just go on the coast and we'll get a boat and we'll film it on the water. And I guess Atherton's like, you guys are idiots. Like, you don't want to film on water. Like, what's just, why? You want to get a boat and shoot on the water in Vancouver? Like, that's, and I guess he was flabbergasted by it.
So
I guess he.
Just so you don't get letters, it was Howard Atherton was the AD.
Oh, Howard.
William Atherton is Richard Thornburg from Die Hard.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I was thinking about Jerks, and so Anthony
Yeah.
Held somehow landed me into William Atherton territory. But Howard Atherton, the cinematographer of Bad Boys, the Michael Bay film, he was annoyed at everybody because they were like, "Yeah, let's go shoot on the water," and then like the second unit director on this was Dean Cundy, who
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you, yeah, right? Dean Cundy was the second unit director on this, and he's one of the biggest cinematographers working. I mean, the movies that he has done, what, Jurassic Park, Apollo 13, Back to the Future,
Yeah.
he's doing second unit on this movie.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and like,
What happened?
Yeah. But I mean, look, this movie had a wildly talented crew. Jerry Goldsmith did the score. Wes Studi was talking about it, and he just loved it because he loved his death. He loved working with Kevin J. O'Connor. I guess he just loved working with him. But yeah, I don't get, like, okay, 98. You go and watch this movie, Jay, and you are a movie critic. You've watched Two If by Sea with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. You've watched Speed 2. You've watched Titanic. You've watched Anaconda. All these kind of creature features that rolled through. You're kind of tired. It's January. It's a Hollywood Pictures movie, which isn't prestige. It's January. So you probably have a lot of preconceived notions going into this.
Maybe getting a little like aquatic fatigue from all the water-based films.
Aquatic fatigue. I like it. It's real. Yeah, Hard Rain had just come out.
When was Waterworld?
96, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, Waterworld was probably still in your mind. You had just watched a ton of people get rained on in Hard Rain. Then you have Titanic. That's a lot of rain. I think As Good as It Gets has a rain scene. But yeah, it's just something about this movie. It was in and out of the theaters in 3 weeks. I just think people just had it out for it.
I just can't imagine watching the scene where John Hounslow opens a door and gets an axe planted in his head and thinking, "No, I don't like this film. This isn't for me." And you know, the half-digested Billy who's still alive and looks through his hand and he's got half a face and he can't just watching that thinking, "This is, I don't know, it's all right, I guess. 5 out of 10. No. What do people do? I can't get behind it. This is bizarre. But I do have to say, Mark, when I asked you how like gory this film was, would it be alright to watch it with my wife, who's not a fan of any kind of horror or icky things? She might have a bone to pick with you after watching this film because of the half-digested man who goes who like looks through his own hand and hasn't got half of her face, and then the room full of digested bodies covered in blood and guts. And
they use 200 gallons of goo for that.
oh, that's great.
Oh, well, sorry. In my head,
I'm fine. After all these scenes, I was like, that was awesome. And she's like, awesome? That was disgusting. What are you talking about? I'm going to like that.
Did she at least like some of the humor? Was it kind of cheeky a little bit?
Yeah, she was engaged. She was watching it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if it's something gory happening in a film that she doesn't care about, she won't even notice. She'll just be doing something else. So the fact that she noticed how gory it was, how disgusting it was, is a good thing somehow.
Because you were watching the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah. And I noticed a lot, too, there was a lot of people going, this is just an Alien ripoff. But before Alien was released, there were other creature features that were out. So it's just odd that, Jaws, like just that kind of monster movie, a prestige kind of film. There were prestige movies that took place in space. There were different variations of that. So, I mean, Alien drew inspiration from so many different films. So it's just odd that people are like, oh yeah, a movie that drew inspiration from films is responsible for all these different films. But I mean, cinema just borrows from. I mean, we love Deep Blue Sea, and there's just homages to Jaws and Jurassic Park, and
yeah,
I mean, even this film. And I think nowadays almost everything is reductive. You see a car chase, Oh, it ripped off French Connection. What? Like you see a romance. Oh, it ripped off Philadelphia Story.